Hello everyone, welcome to fucking Whack Comics. I'm here with Fire Guy Ryan, and we're gonna do 10 Whack questions. How you going, Ryan?
I'm doing all right. I don't know if I'm ready for this, but let's get into it. Ready as I'm gonna
Yeah,
be.
I can't thank you enough for your time coming on with me and getting a little bit whack.
It's in the name, right? I think
It
that's what
is.
I'm in for.
That's it. That's it. The first question is a pretty easy one. For people who do not know you, who the fuck are you?
Who the fuck am I? I'm Ryan. Fire Guy Ryan is what I have been dubbed by a friend of mine, Comic Tom. I am a co-host on his channel, a producer on his channel. And every now and then I like to get out of the studio and do my own thing. Like I am here. I'm whacking it here with you.
So Fire Guy Ryan is an office reference, right?
It is. I thought that was how Tom like referred to me when I got a job working at the bank that he hired me at a decade ago. At this point,
Oh wow.
he decided to just call me Fire Guy Ryan because he's obsessed with The Office. And even in 2013, I felt like that was a tired reference, but I was like, yeah, sure, whatever you want to call me, bro. That's how he put me in his cell phone. And then when we started doing YouTube together, he's like, you need a name. I'm like, all right, whatever. Ryan works for me. It's worked for me for my whole life. But he's like, no, you're Fire Guy, Ryan. No, that's it.
I am too obsessed with The Office. I don't know how many times I've watched it. I pretty much watch it every night when I go to sleep as well.
You're
And
one of those. Okay.
when it finishes, I just restart it from season one, and off we go again. But have you ever watched a show from start to finish?
The Office, yeah. One time I've watched it all the way through once. It was on when I was in high school at like peak of its popularity. I feel like so. My favorite era is like you lose me around season 4 or 5 is when
Oh,
I
really?
get kind of bored. Yeah, it's a
Wow.
good show all the way through, but somewhere along the way I graduated to Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and then never looked back really.
Question number two. We've heard a lot about characters that you love, but what character do you hate?
Oh boy. Um, who I hate. The first instinct I have is Wolverine. That's kind of
Really?
the I've been pretty vocal about my dislike for Wolverine. Um, as a solo character, he's fine. Like I read the Chris Claremont, Frank Miller run, the original Wolverine solo stuff, and that's cool. That's some cool samurai stuff. But once the second he joins the X-Men, it just becomes Wolverine and the X-Men, and that's when it bugs me. Like I even felt this way back in like the animated series when all my friends were running around with their kitchen knives in their fingers and stuff trying to be Wolverine, and I'm like, you guys are all lame. Everybody likes Wolverine. Like think a little beyond the cool kids. I was the same way with like Ninja Turtles. Everyone was like, oh, Donatello, not Donatello. Donatello's my guy. Everybody was like Leonardo, Raphael. I want to be the cool one, the badass one. Yeah, nah. But I'm trying to think. Like, there's been a long time. I've been pretty. I've had a list of characters like in comics that I just never really cared about before, and I'm discovering that like those guys are some of my favorites now. Like at least in the current run of comics, like the Hulk and Ghost Rider are people I've never cared about in the past. I always thought they were lame and boring, and then I started. I read the Immortal Hulk, and the current run of Ghost Rider has been really really cool. And now I'm kind of interested in reading both those characters. So I've learned to kind of shut the hell up about who I hate the most, and everybody's every character is somebody's favorite. So I gotta shut up. The older I get, the less cranky I get about that kind of stuff, I think.
That's right. There is character. Every character has someone's favorite, but we can't help but dislike a few. Like I'm really surprised Wolverine is up there for you. There, he's
It mostly comes from the movies.
the movie. You don't
Like
like Hugh Jackman?
he's fine, like, but I hate how they become his movie. It feels like everybody else is just kind of there, and the X-Men is more fun for me as a team. And I feel like his powers are just kind of they're not as cool. Like he has knives in his hands and he can heal stuff. And I'd rather like I want to see the weather lady. What can she do? You got people on that team who can like control people's minds and like freeze stuff and shoot up lasers out of their eyes. And then like we focus so much on the little tiny angry guy with stab hands that always just kind of bored me.
I think we should write to Marvel and ask them to change Storm's name to the Weather Lady. I think that's a far better name than Storm. Weather Lady. That's great.
Meteorologist. That's it.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Let's get on to question number 3. Question number 3 is a bit of a hard one. Who is the sexiest member of the YouTube comic book community? And you can't choose yourself, unfortunately.
I wouldn't. My gut instant, like I already thought of somebody, and my brain immediately went to John's Comics with Kids. That guy's hot. That's daddy right there. Oh yeah, he's all of our daddy.
Yeah, you can't help it too when he's a sexy dad. You're just like, fuck, I wish he was my dad or like my sexual partner or something like that. I do love John's Comics with Kids. My God.
I stayed over at his house for a weekend too, like right before COVID happened. Like
you did?
Yeah, I flew down there because we're both on the West Coast. It wasn't too far of a trip, so he was one of my first friends in the the comic book community since we started doing our channels, kind of right around the same time, 2018.
Wow.
So yeah, I just flew down there, spent a weekend with him, and hung out with his kids, and we watched Frozen 2 as a little family. I've never seen Frozen 1, so I was a little confused, but we had a good time.
Well, I'm very jealous. I would love to stay with John. I'm going to America next year, actually, so fingers crossed I can stay with him for a night or two.
Right? I'm sure it'd be allowed. I'm sure he just lets anybody crash on his couch or whatever.
It would be hard to keep my hands off him, though, because he is a sexy motherfucker.
He is. He makes good breakfast in the morning, too, if you know what I mean.
Oh, wow. John. John actually promised me when I get to America that he would sing for me as well.
Not surprising.
Let's get on to the 4th question. This one is in honor of a fellow Australian called Simple Simon. He lives down in Melbourne, and he is self-proclaimed #foot guy. He loves some feet. So this question is in honor of Simon. What comic book character has the best feet?
Boy. Nightcrawler, right? He's got like hooves or something, doesn't he?
Yeah, like he's got some weird feet.
Like 2 giant toes in his or like Ninja Turtles would probably have some crazy feet. Sewer feet too, stomping around in the muck. It's probably good. That's so disgusting.
That's some good answers. I think Simon would appreciate those answers too.
Plus, with the turtles, you get like 8 different feet, or 10 if Jenica's in the mix.
Question number 5. I suppose we can skip this question because you already explained it. I was going to ask why you call yourself Fire Guy Ryan, but you answered it at the beginning up top.
We did. So, it was given to me.
It was given to you.
You'd be surprised how many people over the years I've learned don't know the reference. I guess it's been like 20 years almost since The Office started, but at least once every couple months, there's somebody who leaves a comment and is like, "Is that guy a firefighter?" Or something like that. And no, for the record, no, I do not do anything valiant or cool or heroic. It's just a reference to an old show that Tom likes.
Yeah, that Tom likes. You're not even the biggest. I always thought that you were like, you must be the biggest fan of The Office out there. With the name like Fire Guy Ryan, but it's actually Comic Tom. That's the big fan. So.
Right. Yeah, I like it because I'm not fiery at all, really, too. It works in like a irony sort of way.
Yeah. Have you started any fires, like on accident?
Or on purpose? Not since I was little. I feel like a lot of boys had the phase with the magnifying glass,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you get outside and you can start fires, you can burn holes in like action figures and stuff. I had a phase when I was little, but it's been a while.
That's amazing. What do you remember any action figures that you burnt out?
Specifically, I had this motorcycle that it was like a guy riding a motorcycle. I don't even remember who it was or what it was, but when you push down on him, the motorcycle would go like, it would make a little noise. And I didn't really put 2 and 2 together that it had a battery in there. So I was just like burning it with a magnifying glass. And it kind of blew up a little bit. And that might have been when I stopped. that was a shock I wasn't really ready for.
That's amazing. That's a great story right there.
Oh yeah.
What comic book character is most likely to have like a whack in their comic book, and what artist could you see drawing that?
To have a whack.
Yeah, having a whack, you know.
Okay, whacking it. That makes sense. Let's see. What character is most likely? For me, I feel like as a Green Lantern fan, Guy Gardner comes to mind.
Yeah.
Like he's a big bro, like a big asshole, and I feel like it wouldn't be uncommon to like turn a page of a weird '90s book. I've been reading the '90s run of Green Lantern for the first time, and there's just this really weird issue where he's just chilling in a recliner and watching like sports or something. He's watching Wheel of Fortune, and he's like hitting on the girl on the TV screen because she's hot, and he uses his powers to like grab a beer from the fridge, and he makes a hot lady with his ring, and it's like Guy Gardner's kind of a perv, and I feel like it wouldn't surprise me at all if he was just yanking it. And who do I want to see draw that? If we're doing that, if that's going to be like, I would want it to be like a whole issue, you know, just make it a weird, lean into the weirdness and get like Alex Ross or somebody to do that, you know, make it cool, make it look good.
That'd be like
if we have to observe this, then it should be at least fun to look at.
That'd be a really realistic whack going on as well, and he could use his powers to, like as you said, he's used it already to form a lady. He could form a lady to help him do the whack.
I guess at some point you'd have to get like banished from the organization as a whole, because I feel like they would crack down on that. Like, yo, you're not out fighting crime, you're just sitting on your chair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a great answer. I would definitely love to see Alex Ross do that, and a full issue as well.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah, that'd be a key for sure.
Question number 7. In your best Mickey Mouse impression, could you please give us a quick review of Keanu Reeves' Berserker?
Oh, Berserker. Okay. I haven't thought about that book in a while. Mickey Mouse?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, boy. Okay. Oh, boy. Berserker from Boom Studios. It's my favorite comic book. It's his favorite. You know, he would like it. It's got lots of blood and guts. Coming next year from Walt Disney Studios. You know, there'd be like a movie. The animated version, right? They're going to make an animated Berserker, so you might as well make it like a classic Disney and just go hard. Blood and guts. That'd be fun. But with Mickey Mouse as you know, the main character.
Mickey Mouse as Keanu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Replace
it. I think either you or Keanu should voice the character as well, because you did a great job right there.
Oh, thank you. Mickey Mouse is... I like doing weird voices sometimes, and weirdly enough, Mickey kind of comes up there. He's funny. I like doing weird cartoons.
What? Oh, show us some of your other voices that you got down pat.
Oh, man. Weirdly, man, I used to work at like Jamba Juice making smoothies and stuff, and I would just annoy all my coworkers because I would do just Mario sound effects all the time. Like I'd make a smoothie and I'd run to the back with this blender and throw it in the sink and go like woohoo and just toss it in the sink and go back up to the front and, you know, start making another one. I just played a lot of Super Smash Brothers in college, so I picked up random like wah, like Mario noises that he'll make when he's like jumping around and throwing stuff. Oh no, voices are fun.
Question number 8. Ryan, someone has a gun to your head and they're telling you to sing a karaoke song, word for word, or they're going to kill you. What's the song that you sing?
I hate that my first instinct is just say, let them kill me. So I got nothing. There's like a piece of my... I say this more often than I should, but there's just like a piece of my soul that's missing, and like music doesn't really work on me. Like I don't listen to music a whole lot. Like
what?
I'll put on like horror movie soundtracks when I'm reading comics sometimes to like set the mood. But if I'm like driving somewhere, I'll usually have like a podcast on, or the same. I like funk music. old school stuff, but I'm not gonna sing any of that stuff. That's not like I don't like music with words. I don't know. Something about frontmen of bands really piss me off. It's a weird thing
That's
to point out, but like every time I see like a performance or like a music video or something, and you got a guy up there, the other guys are playing instruments and they got like skills, right? But then they're just you pick one of your friends who can just perform, and they're just up there making a fool of themselves and singing. I'm like, kind of fuck you, right? Like let the other guys play their instruments.
wow.
Yeah,
That's a really surprising answer.
yeah. Honestly,
I
they'd probably just kill me.
yeah, I fucking love music personally. Like
Most people do.
music and comic books are the two things that get me through life. You know, and I play a bit of music myself, and I've been in a couple of bands. Um,
Do you sing?
so yeah, it's really surprising to hear that you'd rather just get shot.
Right. I'm sure I could try singing something, but it wouldn't be good if they're shooting me or not shooting me based on skill. Then yeah, just go ahead. I've never done karaoke. I have no desire. Kind of terrifies me, the concept.
I
So
think it would be more based on your memory of the words. You know,
lyrical
you don't need to
accuracy.
sing it well. You just need to know the words of the song. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Not only am I struggling to remember the words, I'm struggling to think of a song that I might know the words to that could work in this situation. So
You haven't got like an intro from a TV show, you know, that has a banger song that you remember well.
Office. That's all.
That,
That's
that
all
could go
musical, right?
anywhere.
Instrumental.
Yeah, you could just like, I suppose you could just like
Also, the worst fucking intro ever. I hate that
the
song.
tune of the song, you know.
I hate
You
that
know?
song so much.
Really? Fuck. Let's move on before I get too upset. Question number 9: what Disney character would you put into Red Room?
Oh God. Shit. um, I'm taking this in two different directions, I guess, in terms of like somebody who probably deserves it, like somebody who I'd want to suffer, and then also like if I was forced to put somebody in there, maybe I would pick somebody who could get out of it, who's like we were talking earlier, maybe the genie. I feel like there's no way you could torture that guy or kill that guy, and he could do some magical powers to escape, which would be nice to see. Or perhaps the Beast from Beauty and the Beast. I feel like he would be a hard one to tie down and kill or torture or whatever.
It could be the opposite. The character could be the one going into Red Room to do the murdering and shit like that, you know. So it doesn't have to be a victim in this scenario, you know.
My the other side of me is saying like I want to see that little teacup from Beauty and the Beast, that cute little teacup guy, like
Chip.
Yeah, just torture that thing. Just torture an inanimate object. I don't want to see like an actual person, but if it's a little teacup, a person trapped inside a teacup, then sure. Their life is already torture enough as it is, so just throw it against the wall and be done with them.
Wow, that's a surprising answer. Poor Chip.
Yeah,
I think Chip's only a child as well, so
it's all right. He's fine.
That's heavy. That is heavy. Question number 10. Ryan, could you please show me and everyone else watching how you would whack a comic book?
I was instructed in advance of this show to grab a comic book for destruction purposes, and I just so happened to have an issue of a comic book that I actually really liked. All 8 Eyes. I don't know why I had an extra copy of this just laying around. I had it in the corner of my room over there. How I would whack a comic book? I think how it actually happened, I must have realized I was probably sitting in this very spot and went like, oh, I have another one of these for some reason. I have 2 of these. I should have brought it back to the shop or maybe given it away to somebody, but I'm pretty sure I just took it and hucked it across the room like that, and that's how it ended up over there. And that book's a little old, which kind of makes me question how clean my room is. It's been sitting there for a while, and I just threw it right back to from whence it came. I don't really whack comics very. I read comics with a glove. You know, I like to take care of them. I have very
With
greasy hands, and I leave fingerprints, and I'm not trying to do that. So I don't normally destroy comics, especially
Do
ones I
you,
like. That one kind of hurt.
so you read comics with gloves, even modern comic books like that just came out
Oh yeah,
weekly?
oh
Really?
yeah. I had a bad experience. I was reading The Nice House on the Lake. I remember specifically what happened and why I made this decision. Um, Especially with DC, I like to get the cardstock variants because they look cool. And that book was messed up. I don't know if you read that one. It's been a couple years now, but there's a very shocking twist that happens partway through issue 1, and it like shook me so bad. And I paused reading, and I picked up my phone, and I messaged like everybody I knew. I was like, "You got to read this book. You got to read this book." And I'm just sitting there like processing it, holding the book the entire time. And by the time I close it, there's like a perfect, like I had been fingerprinted at the police station, like a set of my own fingerprints right there in the front of like the coolest book I read in years. And it made me go, oh no, I need to get a glove. So I read with one glove on one hand, like a dork.
With just only one glove.
Oh yeah, I got it right here. I just put it on when I read comics. I have big hands, so I can hold the spine, you know, with one hand, and the other one I don't need
It
it.
doesn't matter when you're flicking the pages,
Nah.
just when you're holding it.
It's more about the cover. I'm holding it for an extended period of time, and if I use one, then I can get twice as many gloves out of a pack of gloves.
Do you feel like Michael Jackson when you have the one glove?
Everybody makes that reference, but see, I'm musically, you know, dead inside, so I know that he did a glove thing. He had a glove on once or something.
Yeah.
He reads comics too, I think is what it was.
It must be. It must be.
Yep.
Ryan, that was the 10 what questions, but now we have this or that questions, okay? So
Okay.
you can choose to answer them how you want to and elaborate if you choose to do so. But these are the 10 this or that questions. Number 1, Nas or Biggie?
Oh, great. Music. I know Biggie, so I have to pick Biggie.
Sorry,
I've heard Biggie songs.
That's a terrible question for you, not knowing music.
It's an easy one, though.
Yeah.
At least I have heard Biggie Smalls. I know Nas is supposed to be really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I've never tried. So, you know, I got that to look forward to, I guess.
Here's another music question for you. Britney Spears or Christina Aguilera?
Britney. Yeah,
Easy.
I had an ex-girlfriend who thought she was like the next Christina. So we used to, whenever we drove somewhere, she would just belt Christina Aguilera in the car very confidently. And yeah, kind of, if I never hear Christina Aguilera music ever again, I'll be good. But yeah, Britney.
Let's move away from some music questions and get into some Star Wars. Baby Yoda or Jar Jar Binks?
Man, I'm in my Star Wars era right now too. I got to go Jar Jar because I unironically want to see a Jar Jar Binks like show on Disney Plus. I think it could be really cool. I want to see like House of Cards, but with Jar Jar Binks, like a full-on politician show starring Jar Jar Binks in the Senate or whatever he did with his career. There's a lot of history there that needs to be told. And while we're watching the Ahsoka series right now on Disney Plus, our boy Anakin Skywalker is getting a little bit of love now that he didn't really get 20 years ago when those movies came out. And I feel like, you know, Jar Jar is due for an apology tour as well. Like, people need to give him his love.
Yeah, I'm really glad that you said that because I feel the exact same way. Jar Jar's my man. I've got a little Jar Jar pop vinyl here.
Yep.
Yeah, we're Jar Jar for life over here at White Comics, and people don't give him his credit. You know, he gave the power of the Senate to Palpatine, and without him doing that, we wouldn't have all the stuff that followed. You know, and yeah, I absolutely love Jar Jar. I think he, you know, he played up the silly character, but I think he was doing it on purpose. You know what I mean? He knew what he was doing.
Oh yeah, he saved the day in that first movie too.
Oh yeah,
we still got a grand army. You know, all that stuff.
Jar Jar for life for sure. Next question is a bit of a hard one. Would you rather die from drowning or die from getting suffocated from Tyler's Tootsies? Tyler's my co-host.
Drowning.
And he has a great pair of Tootsies.
Drowning.
Drowning?
That's an easy one. Oh yeah. Either way, you're kind of like drowning in a sense. Just
You
drowning
sound
in
like
water
a-
or drowning in feet?
Yeah.
So water, drowning, please.
Wow. You answered that really quickly.
Yeah, not a foot guy.
And I forgot. Not like Simon at all.
Mm-mm. Feet are gross.
Wow. All right. All right. Would you rather burn a piece of Todd McFarlane's art or Greg Capullo's art if you absolutely had to?
I actually got to meet and hang out with Todd McFarlane at San Diego a little bit, like a month or two ago. I don't have any great attachment, however, to Spawn as a character. So I guess I would have to say Todd, but maybe we could just burn like both and make it even. Just burn a little bit of each. I am the fire guy Ryan after all, so we take some art from both of them and make it fair. I don't want to burn nothing. That's something's got to burn.
Yeah, it's gotta happen. What country is better, Australia or America?
You guys got like kangaroos,
We do.
giant scorpions and shit over there, don't you? Like terrifying, awesome, biblical style creatures and shit. Australia.
Thank
Easy.
you.
Oh yeah.
Awesome. Would you rather eat Tyler's comic book ice cream sandwich or my comic book fairy bread? Do you know what fairy bread is?
Sounds like bread.
It's a classic Australian dish over here. You get it's a birthday party staple, really. Every birthday party you've been to, especially kids' birthday parties, this will be on the table. So you got bread, butter, and hundreds of thousands. Like sprinkles basically on top. So
Okay.
we're basically looking at butter and sugar over here. Okay. But instead of the bread, we got a comic book. In both cases, both the ice cream sandwich and the fairy bread.
But the other one has ice cream?
The other one has ice cream. It has lettuce. It has tomato sauce. Or
Oh, an
ketchup.
actual sandwich.
Yeah.
Okay.
But with ice cream as the meat.
I'd still go with that one. There's ice cream in it, so it wins.
Really? With
Even
the
if-
lettuce and tomato sauce and mayonnaise and everything?
I really like ice cream. I feel like my like for ice cream can override the horrifying, disgusting combination of all the other stuff that's in there.
Well,
Bread and butter sounds just not as good, especially if there's no bread.
would you rather own Amazing Fantasy 15 or Nick's Kicks and Comics missing finger? He's missing his trigger finger like that much.
I'll take the finger.
Take the finger?
Yeah. I'll give it back to him even.
You
I don't know him, but I'll give it back to him. I got no use for it.
You could use it as some leverage, make him pay a high price for it.
That's fair. I don't know how long it's been gone. Is it? Did he just lose it like yesterday? And maybe there's a chance the doctor could sew it back on and reattach some nerves or something. Or
it's been gone for a while, as far as my knowledge goes. But yeah, I think the missing finger would be more valuable. It's a one of one, really. And how many copies of Amazing Fantasy 15 are there? There's
like
a lot.
Billion. Yeah. How many missing fingers of Nick are there? Probably just one.
Yeah, just the one.
There you go. See, that's easy.
Who's the better YouTuber, Gemmint Collectibles or Very Gary?
Oh man, it's weird, but I'm basing this purely off of their hair.
Of the hair? You're a hair guy?
Right?
That personally.
Oh no, nonsense. That counts as a hairstyle, by the way. You got the whole. It's a whole thing. But Jem and Gary both have very crazy identifiable like hair. I gotta go Jem. He lets it rock and Gary keeps it all tied up, so let it breathe.
Well, I don't think anyone has answered that question just on hair,
It's the important thing when it comes to YouTube,
There you
hair
go.
equals subs.
Definitely. And Comic Tom has some nice hair too. He always has it, and it's in his logo too, right? His hair.
He does.
Yeah.
He puts a little bit of work into it before each video too. He's
Oh, really?
he's very cognizant and aware of the fact that his hair is a thing. You got to
Yeah.
do a hair check before you hit the mic. It's
Can you tell
important.
us a little before we get on to the last question? Do you want to tell us a little bit about working with Comic Tom?
Oh, it's lots of fun. It's a full-time job at this point, which is a weird development in my life. Up until 2020, I had an overnight job. I worked at the front desk of a hotel overnight. And in the morning, I would get off work and go record with Tom and then go to bed in the afternoon. And my day was all backwards. So it was right at, near the end of no, it was last year. Yeah. Last summer, I was full-time working with him. And now I'm just doing that. That's my life. It's very strange. When we're done with this stream, this video, I'm gonna go back to doing notes for the next trending video that we're gonna shoot tomorrow, and later on in the week I'll script the next one that Tom and Jem do, and I'm there every time Tom and Jem record their video. I'm just in the background and making sure they say the right stuff and don't say 14 instead of 41 or something. It's
Wow.
fun.
So you script all the videos basically, or do all the research for every.
Yeah. So we get the key collector list comes out, and then I take that list, and it's like, oh, Deadpool's on the list again. So I gotta Google Deadpool to figure out, like, did some new news story come out, or is there like any big reason why people are popping, like right now, for example, the new list, there's a couple Aquaman books that are on there because of the trailer that just dropped this last week, and there's more than one Aquaman book on the new trending 10 list, which is a little shocking because I don't think anyone's really excited for that movie. So that'll be kind of fun to get into it, and we compare how well it's selling now versus how well it's selling like the last time we talked about it, especially if it's like a repeat offender. So there's a little bit that goes into it. It's fun.
Nice. And do you enjoy doing those lists, or does it get a bit repetitive?
I'm weird. I like doing numbers and like statisticky kind of stuff. It's partly why I did overnight work at the hotel, because I was just doing like the accounting and tracking all the finances and everything. So yeah, it's cool for me to like look at New Mutants 98 every week and see like how many new CGC slabs come in on a weekly basis for a book like that, and it's just cool to see how things move in the comic market. And it's not really something I was into before I had to start doing this for my job, so it's kind of a new aspect of the hobby for me, because I'm a big reader. I just like to. I got a gigantic pull list every week, so normally that's my focus.
Nice. Maybe your obsession with numbers will help you with this last question here. It's maybe the most important question. Pus or sperm?
One more time.
Pus or sperm?
Here we go. Let's see. In what capacity? I guess that's really the deciding factor here. I feel like pus is significantly more disgusting in my mind. It's very gross. Sperm is gross as well, but it's like something about pus. I guess I'll pick sperm, man.
Sperm? You're a sperm guy?
Probably a poor time to take a drink of my beverage here, which is neither of those things, probably. But I'm a sperm man.
A sperm guy, Ryan.
Oh yeah, very good. Love sperm.
Ryan, thank you so much for your time. That was 10 whack questions. The last question is, who would you like to see take on 10 whack questions next?
I kind of feel like it's got to be Comic Tom.
Jem Mint said the same thing. I've been trying to get Comic Tom on. He hasn't replied to my emails or my messages. I know he's a busy guy.
Dude,
so
yeah.
Maybe with yours and Jem's help, we can get the unicorn, the white whale, if you will, on the show. It would be great. It would be an honor, really, to get a Comic Tom.
I had the misfortune one time of he asked me. This was years ago too, and he's only gotten bigger in the time since. But it was a couple years ago. We were taking a road trip to go to a convention, and he just hands me his phone and he's like, "Can you just respond to my DMs? Because there's just too many and I can't do it." And I'm like, fine, I'll go through and look them. I'll read them out to you, and you tell me what you want to say. And I go over to his Instagram and look at his messages, and it's just scrolls. Like there's too many for him to even open them. So I don't disbelieve you when you said you have tried, but yeah, I'll show him. Well, I'll tell him I did this. I'm sure if Jem's also done it, so he wouldn't want to feel like he's been left out or anything. And I got to hear him answer pus or sperm.
Fingers crossed we can get him. It would be great, and especially with yours and Jem's help, maybe we can push him over the edge. So whenever anyone gets a reply from Comic Tom, it's you. Is that what you're saying as well on Instagram?
No, that was a one time. I looked at his. Yeah, that was in the car. And I'm just like, I'm not doing this anymore. It also feels weird, I don't want to pretend to be him in the messages. So he does get around to DMs. I just think he just saves them for like when he's like waiting in line somewhere or like at the airport. I know last time he was at the airport waiting for a plane, he just went through them all, but that's too much work.
Fair enough. Fingers crossed one day, Comic Tom, we're going to come after you, motherfucker. And that is 10 more questions. Thank you so much again, Ryan, for your time. And thanks everyone for watching. That's a good wave.
Very dainty. You gotta do like one of these too.
Ignacio, he's an artist and a whore. You pay me not this, nothing he would draw. Ignacio. Ignacio. I met the cunt when he was short and killaroo. Now he judges which character you choose. Ignacio, he knows how they poo. Now he's whacking all over you. Ignacio. Ignacio. Ignacio.
So Ryan, this is quite an interesting, and you already developed it a little bit, and it's, dude, it would be like everything that Alex Ross does, it goes to the next level. And imagine this, a full issue of Guy Gardner kind of corrupted by the power of the ring, doing whacking during a full issue, and the perverted things that he could do with the power of the ring, with the, yeah, I mean, dude, that's a winner. Imagine the hyper-realistic style of Alex Ross and the demented mind of Guy Gardner coming up with whacking styles and accessories or people to help him with the whack. I mean, it's a dream come true for him and maybe for us as collectors too. We can only hope.
Ignacio, he's an artist and a whore. You pay me not this, nothing he would draw. Ignacio. Ignacio. I met the cunt when he was short and killaroo. Now he judges which character you choose. Ignacio, he knows how they poo. Now he's whacking all over you. Ignacio. 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 Ignacio.